Yes. Today is the day. It's day 32. It might be your day one. That's okay. It doesn't really matter. This is your free real estate education. And right now we've gotten started. Ancoma's off to go list some property. Good job, Ancoma. We are here in the office. We're working. We're getting things done. And today we're talking about for sale sign regulations. We're not going to get too off in the woods about this. What I'm going to do instead is just show you some of my marketing and then open it up for questions. This was supposed to be like a 10 or 15-minute class for the high school students, but what ended up happening was it ended up being like an hour-long discussion because that's how the high school class is, and it's ended up becoming very interactive, which is a lot of fun, and I'm loving it. Now, let me tell you this about the high school class yesterday. We were joined. It was the longest class that we've ever had, but everyone was writing the person that taught this class at the end of class to say thank you for the information. It was awesome, et cetera, and so forth. And that was Greg Fowler with Lion Bolt Media. Now, Greg taught yesterday, and the class ended up going for about an hour and 47 minutes, but it was absolutely jam-packed full of information. So you're going to want to make sure that you're here next Monday. I'm trying to look for it right now to pull up the thumbnail for you guys so that you could see this handsome dude. But I'm having a little bit of trouble finding it in all of our slides and presentations, etc. and so forth. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump in. If I don't find it here in about 7 seconds, we're going to go ahead and move on. Carry on with the day here. All right, let's see here. 5, 4, 3, 2. There it is. Bam. Ha 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 ha. I found it. So this handsome dude right here yesterday taught for an hour and 47 minutes on media and branding. It was so jam-packed full of information that there were a couple of licensed real estate agents here that stuck around for 45 minutes after class ended to just soak up the information. They're like, this is so good. And Como's like, I literally can't sit anymore. So he's like standing around paying attention to all the good things that we were learning. And it was awesome. It was awesome. It was awesome. So today we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to talk about for sale signs right now. Today's day 32. Like I said, it might be your day one, and that's A-okay. We took a listing, or not we took a listing. We supported a family. These are actually repeat clients of ours that we're talking about here. Fellow Marine Corps veteran, Semper Fidelis, lots of Marines in the office. So we listed their house. We were able to get it listed. We received multiple offers over the weekend, par for the course right now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a new listing package done. And so Mario Vargas took the shots. I designed the branding. We've talked about Mario before on our branding video, which you could look up on YouTube and on Facebook. You could visit his website at addthewow.com. I strongly suggest getting some professional photos if you got the coin. If you don't got the coin, perfectionism leads to procrastination, which leads to paralysis. So what can you do today to move you towards your goal? And if that's taking a photo on your cell phone, I'll tell you what, these cell phones have good cameras on them, and there's a lot of people poo-pooing the cameras on these, supercomputers that we hold in our hands that we can actually control satellites with. But anyway, lots of great cameras options on your cell phone. So okay, so this is my branding. Now, there's a couple of things that I've done with my branding from the beginning, and that is that I've included. Well, excuse me, my first logo, my first branding session, I didn't put Marine Corps veteran on it. I was still in a place where, I'd just gotten back from Afghanistan. I wasn't really wanting to put Marine Corps veteran on everything. And so I left it off my initial branding, and it just kind of felt a little bit weird. Now, that being said, my very first photo, like my first month in real estate, I put USMC veteran on the bottom of my photo, and I took these photos in like someone's garage. Anyway, it was a weird situation. No, like it was like the preferred photographer. So I go out there, and it's in their garage, and I'm saying there. I'm trying to keep this very neutral. But my photo ended up getting touched up so much that I said I look like an 8-year-old pageant queen, Can we take the rouge out of my cheeks? So, that's one of the things that's nice about Mario is he does touch up the photos. He whitens all of our smokers' teeth, and he takes out some of the blemishes while still making it so that you remain human looking, and not like a pageant doll. So I really like these photos. Add the wow. You really can't go wrong with these. Now, this is a branding that I designed that I'm a Pisces, so I wanted to incorporate heart into my brand. I'm all heart. It's all over me. I can't help it. It's just part of who I am. And so what I did was I also wanted to incorporate the duality of being Zen. So having a dark side, having a light side, that sort of like Pisces element of duality. And so I wanted to incorporate that into my brand. But I also didn't want to forego the element of real estate. And so when I was looking at security and what home ownership is, I wasn't like, oh, well, I don't want to have like a huge, massive home or a home in wine country. I just want to have a key. And for some people, that's a tiny house on the streets of Los Angeles that, they're in a situation where they're now able to just lock their door at night. And so I wanted to embrace that sort of like traditional sense of security versus the overwhelming wealth and abundance that like we get so caught up in real estate. So that's my brand. And so we put all that together, and then I contrasted it with a gray and an orange, and then I put a filter over it, which means I put a white on it, and then I took the transparency way down so that all of this text would not get lost. And then what I did was I did something a little bit more unique in that I included our community center down here on the bottom. That way people know where to find me. Now, this is where we work. It's a communal workspace. This is something that, we have a lot of different vendors, a lot of different small businesses that work here. Part of that is we sell real estate, of course. And then instead of saying sold, 400 homes or top 1% or, blah, 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 I just decided to go with serving 400 plus families since 2014, which I think is, it's a good amount of numbers. Of course, we did that with our team and our squad, and it was an awesome experience. So serving 400, and the technical number is 435, if you're curious. We've sold 435 homes exactly. And I was going to go serving 400 plus families and our community since 2014, but I always put a million things on the sign, and then I sort of like edit it down. As you can see, all of my signs are very full. And then I also, I like the wallpaper element in the background, which is, of course, is all custom. And then I am with eXp Realty. I put that right up at the top in a place of prominence, which is what you have to do with these signs, or it has to be at the top or prominent, which means bigger, right? So I like to put it in the top. I'm really proud of being a part of eXp Realty, so I like to go ahead and put that on the top of my signs. I think it's a great brokerage to work for. I think it makes our community and everything else that I'm doing possible by giving everybody ownership. And so sometimes, I haven't recruited for years. I don't have a huge front line, and because of that, I leave thousands of dollars on the table. But the thing is, like every time that I do recruit, I get criticized for it, and so I actually ended up calling off the dogs a little bit. Because I get exhausted with it. So I just figured I'd put the big fat eXp Realty thing on there and then let people contact me if they want to contact me and make some specific phone calls to specific people that I want to collaborate with, that I want to work with, that I want to partner with, I want to share my food with, et cetera, and so forth. Now, again, the Marine Corps veteran thing, that's something that I'm very proud of. It's something that it also bonds me to my community, which is very service-oriented. Also, I have my broker number, my DRE number, my wife's DRE number, and my broker's DRE number on my sign, which you see down here on the bottom in white. And of course, that's a compliance thing. You have to have your DRE number on those signs in order to remain in compliance. Okay, now I'm going to jump on to our listing sign. We're going to have a little bit of fun with this here because I'm going to show you, first I'm going to show you kind of like the templated thing that we got from eXp, which is this. And, you have to take these things and then make them your own. right? So it's a nice flyer. We could have just rolled with that, but instead, what I decided to do was take some adjust it, put it into Canva, take the same template, and then put the things that I really want to see on my flyer. So I filled in the photos a little bit. I made them more prominent. I always include the price on all of my flyers. The only time that I didn't do it, honestly, was on accident one time, and I got like a call from like 3 angry neighbors. How come you didn't put your price on your sign? I hate it when you guys do that. And I was like, whoa, hold up. I wasn't interested in getting attacked this morning, but it happened like 2 more times. And then when I talked to my coach about it, he was like, no, that's exactly why you don't put your phone number on your sign, or don't put your the price on the sign, because it encourages people to call you. And I was like, I don't want those phone calls. Those phone calls give me anxiety. I said, I'd rather just go ahead and give all of the information out and then let people come to me that want to come to me. Now, that being said, the flyer is one of the most underutilized and most valuable tools that you could possibly have. One of the things that has been a trend for years in this industry that I totally disagree with, and I think you zig when everybody else zags, right? So everybody, as you know, an old partner of mine used to say, Robert Morrow, zig when they zag, right? So what people like to do with their branding, with their flyers, is they don't want to put any flyers in the flyer box. They're like, oh, if I put the flyers in the flyer box, the neighbors are just going to empty it out anyway. I'm like, isn't that exactly what you want? So instead of waiting for the neighbors to come to you with the flyers, why don't you go to them? The market is so hot right now that that if you are not going to people with this information, then they don't have an opportunity to potentially buy the house and have someone that they love live next door, which just so happened with this property. Now, that being said, we're reviewing offers tonight. I'm not going to say who submitted or anything like that, and I'm not going to say like that it was like right next door or anything. But what happened was a neighbor found out that the property was listed, and we got 2 or 3 phone calls. We ended up scheduling 2 showings for people that are like, my family lives close by, or like my family lives down the street, and like I would be very interested in seeing this home. And so the thing is, if you don't give people an opportunity to see that a home in their area is available for sale, they're not going to buy it. And you're not going to have an opportunity to potentially represent both parties. And of course, you have your due diligence to your seller. But I've done this several times, and both parties have been happy, and both parties have written positive reviews about it. So this is something that you could do in this market: serve everybody, net the most for your sellers, and have a very happy buyer as well. So get the house listed, right? But get those flyers out that give people an opportunity to reach out to you once they know that it's listed, right? So I like to do this in 3 phases. My first flyer is a just listed flyer. Hey, this house is available. Come by and see it. This is how you can see it. This is the information. That way I'm not getting the angry phone calls. Why didn't you put the price on the flyer? Why didn't you put the square footage on the flyer? Which model is this? Like those kind of angry phone calls. I'm giving people information, which is what they want anyway. So if you give, you will have an opportunity to get back, right? So I like to give, and then that way I'm not getting useless phone calls, but instead offering valuable information. And then that way I get opportunities that are really ready, they're really interested. And then, so you go just listed, you go in escrow or sell pending, right? Because that gives people an opportunity to know, we sold it that quick, right? It's pending, right? And then it also gives an opportunity to sort of like get the word out there, just in case there's a situation to where, a deal falls through. You've got a lot of interest out there that is now, hey, what did you get it for? What did you get it sold for? You know what? I can't actually tell you that right now, but it is going to be public information later. But I'll tell you what, I'll follow up with you with a phone call when we get it closed. Is that fair? Right? And again, we've talked about our 3 tips on how to get a yes. They don't have to necessarily agree with something in order for it to be fair. Hey, I'll give you a call back once we get it sold, and then I'll tell you exactly what the details is, or the details were. Is that fair? or then that way you don't get yourself in a situation to where you're advertising what the house is pending for, which could get you in trouble, could get a buyer frustrated, etc., and so forth. Okay, and then I like to put the address right up there. Some people will say, do I have to put a sign out in the front? And that's something that, like, of course, you don't have to put a sign out front, right? You don't have to. But people are more likely to attend a bidding war if they know that it's available, right? People are more likely to throw their hat in the ring. So I'm not necessarily one of those people that likes to, like, hit pocket listings. I'm always getting calls from out-of-area agents or agents in the area. Hey, do you have anything in your back pocket? Do you have anything like? And this is something that even when I was carrying a lot of listings, I didn't like to do it. I always like to put it on the open market because in the open market, you're going to get the most bang for your buck for your clients. There are a lot of people like, oh, they don't really need all that money. They don't really want it. Some people just want out. It's like, give me 15 minutes with that same person, and they're going to want to put it on the open market. Like, we really get an opportunity to kind of like sell people on things, and some people sell people on the fact that they could cash them out and then keep a lot of the equity. I like to sell people on, hey, listen, there's a lot of money and a lot of interest out there. There's a lot of people relocating from Orange County, LA County, and San Diego County that want to know that this house is available. You have to make sure that people know that it's available long enough, because if one person's interested, I guarantee you there's going to be like 7 or 8 more. And again, undersell, right? Under promise, over deliver, right? So you don't want to commit yourself to like multiple offers and then they don't end up coming through. Okay, finally, a couple of things. Somebody suggested that I put an email that connects directly to my website. I was in a situation before where somebody owned my DBA, and so I just kind of like, I feel weird about having linked websites for whatever reason. I'm autistic, black and white thinking, I'm kind of a weird dude. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and see if there are any questions. The new flyer looks great. Thank you very much, Lisa. I appreciate it. So this is the new flyer that we just had. And of course, we've got our new for sale sign as well. These are easy things that you guys can do in Canva. That Canva is free. Now, for those of you that are interested, a lot of people do 24 by 24 when they're designing their open house signs, and then what that does is it puts it in a square, right? Which is kind of like what you see with. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Okay, so there's kind of I'm really big on brand dominance. My first book was called, excuse me, The Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate. I had a nervous breakdown on it. Don't worry about it. If you want to read it, feel free. I actually got a call from somebody in Kansas that is loving the book. But I always tell people not to read it because you've got to really be in a good place spiritually and emotionally to handle The Machine Gunner's Guide to Real Estate. If not, you might have a nervous breakdown. All right. A more peaceful book is Zen Business. And then here is this. Now, what I like to do is I really like to use these signs, right? So, like, this is our for our merchant market. So I'm seeing a lot more people doing merchant markets and farmers markets that weren't doing them 2 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, but that's cool. I always encourage people to sort of like copy what we're doing. That way more people get the benefit, right? So here's the thing. Like right now we've got this whole like return to the plaza. We've got COVID-19 brought a lot of economic destruction, right? So if you get an opportunity to serve your community, branding is not just the brand, it's what you stand for, right? It's how you conduct business. So I have a couple of big announcements coming. One of them is going to be, we made our first donation last night on behalf of one of our clients. You're going to have to stand by for what that is. Served with the guy in Afghanistan, bought a house in Laguna Hills. We donated 10% of our commission. We were inspired by Jamie Z out there in San Diego. If you are buying and selling in San Diego, go to Jamie Z. Go to Jamie Z Harris. Don't go to me, right? I'm not in San Diego. She's absolutely fantastic. Okay, here we go. So our community, French Valley Merchant Market, and it's open to the public. A lot of people talk about doing client events. I like to do community appreciation events. So it's not just the clients that are benefiting, but the entire community. Especially when you're starting out at the beginning of your career, you're not necessarily going to have a huge sphere of influence. So the best thing that you could do is build a sphere of influence. They say that your network will determine your net worth. Brino taught that in class the other day. That was a fantastic class. Your network will determine your net worth. And so what I've done is I have built a network with other people, and I have another really big announcement that I really want to tell you guys, but I can't tell you today. You guys are gonna have to wait, but it's a way to really to help our community and all of our small businesses, all of our vendors, all of our merchants, all of our nonprofits and churches, all of the people out there doing good things, right? All of the people that we hang out with every Sunday from 8 to 12 in our community. So this is a great way to get your name out in the community, get out in the community, serve people, and then give them an opportunity to eat as well. We do this for free to all of our vendors. There were people that were saying, "Hey, listen, can we X? Can we that? Can we get vendor spots?" And I'm like, I totally understand why people would want to have vendor spots and why people would want to secure these spots ahead of time, because it's become a very busy merchant market in just the last few weeks. A lot of fun. But that being said, in order to keep it free for everybody and not make everybody have skin in the game, people cancel, right, when they don't have skin in the game. But we also don't want to affect everyone's bottom line when people are having trouble paying their mortgage, people are having trouble paying their rent. And so if we can help people, put food on the table, I think that they're going to come to us and help us put food on our table. And that's the idea behind the merchant market. Now, that being said, we've also got this, my other sign that I've just started putting up here last week. Here, I'll have it pointing at me. I don't want it to point at Christy and Amy. That's rude. So I'll point it at me. So here we go. I keep everything on reverse so that everybody can read everything that I'm sharing. And it just trips me out. I'm always like, oh, how do I end back in the... Okay, so that's what you see when I... Okay, so this, I decided to go Serpa is in the office because a lot of people call me Serpa. It is like a Marine Corps thing. It followed me into real estate for whatever reason. People call me Serpa. They like to call me Serpa, so I just decided to go Serpa's in the office. And then I also decided to advertise our community merchant market so that the people who are in the area know where to find us, right? So here, you can see this a little bit more. I receive a free market analysis while you wait. Start your home search or tour new homes. Find a small business in our community. Co-work in our community workspace. Start your new career in real estate. Tour our community center and media room. Come see our new office. And then, of course, we've got our brand, which is the same on everything. Good morning, family. And then we've got the EXP brand right here. And then, of course, the DRU number is keeping us in compliance. So all of that stuff is right here. So one of the things that people were telling us in the beginning of the career in the beginning of my career was, you guys are everywhere. You guys are everywhere. And it was because I would put out between 40 and 60 open house signs and 2 banners, but I would also take them down at the end of my open house so that they weren't clutter and garbage, just like sitting all over my community. I think that looks like crap when people put out open house signs and then just leave them out indefinitely or all weekend or strapped to other people's private property. Respect yourself. God, look at you, real estating all over yourself. Like you real estate barfed all over the community. But also like things like that, like we said before, pigs get fed and hogs get slaughtered, right? So if you're going to real estate barf all over the community, then what's going to end up happening is there's going to be new rules and new regulations, just like there are in Temecula already. So if you're in Temecula, you can't put up signs before 12 o'clock because the city will come by and take them. Now, there's some people that they'll put them out at 11:30, and there's kind of some gray room or whatnot. But out here we're unincorporated, so there's nobody like policing this. Well, gosh, I'm gonna get way off into the woods here. But now that being said, we had 2 of our signs taken last week, and I'm assuming it was probably the city and not a hater, but it might be a hater. Probably a hater because it was the weekend, and they only took them on one side of the street. Yeah, so it was one of these signs. It was one of our merchant market signs, which are just, helping us to help small businesses which are struggling during this economy to feed themselves and their families. But go ahead and steal the signs, you freaking haters. Just don't let me catch you doing it. Just don't let me catch you doing it. I don't wear combat boots to the office because I show up ready to not kick some ass. Not kick some ass. It's the adult class. All right. So if you want to get your ass kicked, touch the signs, show up, or just come into the office. I'll kick your ass right here. All right. We're just playing. We're going to get way off in the woods. Don't assume I'm peaceful because I forgot how to be violent. No, Amy's always ready to fight everybody for charity. Like Amy in Coma did the same thing. That's the way that I know that I'm rolling with a bunch of combat vets. Like literally every time that anything goes hot, I'll fight you for charity. I'm like, hold up. We don't need to be beating everybody up in public. I said what I said. All right, here we go. I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just not advocating not for violence. Okay, any questions from the Zoom crew? Any questions from Facebook? Happy to jump into it. We went through branding today. We went through the for sale sign regulations. We talked a little bit about what I put on my sign and what I do not put on my sign because I don't like the useless phone calls. I like to give people information. And then, of course, all of the other crap that we talked about when we got off out in the woods. So if anybody else wants to join us, you can join us and, do all this stuff every day as well. Any questions, family? If not, I'm going to call it. I'm going to give you guys back 20 more minutes of your day. Okay. That was our community. Free real estate education. You can watch it on Zoom. You can watch it on Facebook. You can get your butt in the office and be a part of this and what we've got going on. But right now, we've got this set up for Commission Boot Camp because every day this week in the office, we've got Miss Jackson. There's a whole lot of water elements in the office.
There is. A lot's going on.
I am flanked by Scorpios today. It is pure fire in the office.
I love it.
Miss Jackson, it is good to see you, my friend.
Absolutely. It's good to see you too.
Okay, Mrs. Jackson, excuse me. Respect to the family.
Thank you.
All right. Come see us. We're in here. Commission Boot Camp starts at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and update you guys right now. We've got our monthly meeting. Our first monthly meeting is going to be right here in the office at 11 o'clock. And we have tons and tons and tons of announcements. So, and I cannot tell you them here now because if I tell you, I'm going to be doing everybody a disservice. But lots of technology, lots of community, lots of events happening. But we're going to, and I told people I was going to record it. I'm not going to record it. I lied. I didn't lie. I changed my mind. So we're not going to record it. You're going to have to be here. We are going to launch a ton of things. All of the punches that we have been pulling are all going to get launched in succession. So, yeah. Okay, so thank you guys. We'll see you at 11. Sarah Jackson is going to be live at 10. Hello, Sarah Jackson.
Hello, guys. How are you? My voice is a little froggish this morning.
Hello, Amy Serpa. Hello, Christy Caruso. Amy is and Coma's already out setting up his listing. Trevor and Christian put up their listing sign yesterday. Lots of businesses happening. Lots of businesses. Many much businesses is happening here at our community. All right, family. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.